viewers, it's Kristin and I have a Q&A video for you guys. I asked you a little bit back on Instagram if you had any questions that I might have answers for. I asked you guys to be creative because I've done some of these in the past. I'll try to remember to link any of the sort of getting to know me videos that I have below for you if you want to check those out. But yeah, let's jump into it. There are a ton. There were 148 comments on here, so I'm clearly not going to get to them all, but maybe I'll film one today, one tomorrow, and I'll put them up. I don't know. I guess you guys will have to let me know if you want to hear more answers to questions. All right. So first question is from Babam. Oh, Babam. That makes sense. Babam. She says, "I love Q&As. Have you ever considered doing another drugstore December?" I have actually considered doing that. There are a few other people that it was a couple of years back that I was going to do it, and then another big YouTuber had decided to do it, and I just didn't want to. I don't want to look like I was copying somebody, even though it was originally my idea. But anyway, so to answer your question, I would do it again. I don't know. I would have to start thinking about it right now, probably, if I was going to do it this year. But anyway, it's possible. Let's see. What are some of your favorite songs or type of music to sing or listen to? That's so funny. I just did a live this morning, and we were talking about that. My favorite kinds of music they go from here to there, from A to Z. It's just, I like all kinds of music. But what I will tell you is that I just have to fix my camera because it was a little bit wonky or something. Anyway, what I'll tell you is what I listen to on the plane. When I get on a plane and I want to just kind of go to my happy place, de-stress, and maybe fall asleep, I either listen to the very best of Peter, Paul, and Mary, believe it or not, or the greatest hits, Simon and Garfunkel. Both of those albums kind of take me back to childhood. So my parents listened to those when I was growing up, and some John Denver and stuff. So those kind of take me back to that place, and I feel like it's able for me to kind of calm, and I can usually fall asleep to that. If I want to kind of like get revved up and that sort of thing, that's a whole other thing. But I thought I would just pull an example there. Would love some. Okay, and that was from Haley Young, by the way. Alexa77, would love some thought on your professional day job. Best and hardest parts of your job. Pros and cons of working from home. Also, curious, personal budget. No personal data, but curious if you budget. So, okay, on my job, I love... The travel is really, it kind of gets to you after a while, I have to say. I didn't think it would be as hard as it is when I moved from inside sales to outside sales. But I love the people that I work with. I love my customers. Parts of my job are frustrating to me at times. Things that are out of my control. But, I really like the people that I work with. I have a great team, and I love my customers. Pros and cons of working from home, you really have to be disciplined. You have to stay on. I make sure that, I'm working for the most part by a certain time every day. If I don't skip my lunch, I continue working until certain, you know what I mean? You just have to be really disciplined, and it can be tricky. And early on, when you're working from home, if you are a lonely eater, bored eater, if you are a person that eats those sort of things, those sort of emotions, that's me, and I really struggled with that early on. I don't anymore, but it was something I really struggled with. So that was just a change in mindset. You just have to, that is mind over matter, really. But anyway, hopefully that answers your question. Oh, and do we budget? Yeah, we do. Jamie Makeup says, how come you're so cute? Thanks, Jamie. So yes, where do you see yourself in 10 years? I don't know, honestly. Still here in this house, still married to Bob, obviously. I don't know. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I try to live in the moment. I don't see myself as retired, I can tell you that. I don't think I will. I don't think I'll retire until long into my 60s. I think I would go crazy. And that was Lim 2412. MGN Danielson says, biggest fears, pet peeves, scariest thing that's ever happened to you. Biggest fears, failure, honestly. So I'm not sure if she was looking for like snakes or something like that, but failure probably is my biggest fear. Disappointing people. I don't like to disappoint people. Pet peeves. So I definitely have a few. One of my biggest pet peeves is when people who know me spell my name wrong. for real. Or if you send me an email, you had to type my email. You had to pull it out of someplace. And my name in all of my emails, whether it's a work email or my Hotmail, whatever, my first name is part of my email. It won't get to me unless you spell it properly. It drives me crazy. Especially, well, anyway, it just drives me crazy. So my first name is Kristin, and so often people will spell it En. It doesn't matter to me so much if you don't know me, if you guys are leaving a comment or whatever, that doesn't drive me so. But people that have known me for years and continue to do that, whew, buddy, it drives me just a little bit crazy. So that's one of my pet peeves. Another pet peeve, like a YouTube pet peeve, would be where people don't give credit. If you haven't come up with an idea, if you took some inspiration from somebody else, give credit. I mean, this, for me, I will continue to do that, but probably annoyingly so to some of you. So like, for instance, this brush right here, this is the Sephora 55 brush. I use this with mineral foundations and other powder foundations. I got that from Lisa D1. And I still, to this day, whenever I talk about that in combination with the Laura Mercier mineral powder, I give her credit. So I try very hard to make sure that I give credit where credit is due, and it drives me crazy when people don't do that. I mean, is it that hard? Really? So the scariest thing that ever happened to me, I think probably was when my brother was 4 years old, my youngest brother. So let's see, how old would that have made me? I am 8 years old, so I was 12. We were in downtown Milwaukee. I was holding his hand, supposed to be, and we were at the Great Circus Parade down in Milwaukee, which brings millions of people, and I lost him. We lost him for like an hour. That probably to this day is still the scariest thing that my family has ever been through, I would guess. I would think that if you asked any member of my family, they would say that. Poor Matthew. We got it back. It's fine. Okay, what is your, Winks RN says, what's your favorite or least favorite things about living in Wisconsin? I love that we have 4 seasons. I love the people in Wisconsin for the most part. It really is, there's just a feel about Wisconsin that I love. My least favorite thing is the amount of snow we can get sometimes, and that the cold on some years just seems never ending. But you have to take that in order to get all 4 seasons, you know what I mean? Darcy Esther says, what are your top pointers to age gracefully? Gosh, I don't know. I feel like I should have read some of these beforehand. But I like a gut reaction question and answer, so that's what I'm trying to do. That's what I'm trying to do for you guys here. I think you have to be confident in your own skin. I think you need to do what you're comfortable with. Don't judge other people for doing what they're comfortable with. You know, if Botox and fillers and that sort of thing is what works for you, it makes you feel comfortable, then, God bless you. That's just not something that I say currently, because you never know, your mind might change. And that, so again, it's not something I currently want to do, but, to that end, that's what I'm saying. You have to keep your mind open and don't be judgmental. I don't know. I think I'm approaching aging the way I try to approach life in general. It's just with kindness and compassion for myself and for others. I hope that makes sense. Samantha Lewis says, you and Bob seem really happy. What is your secret to a happy marriage? I think communication is really important. And I don't know that we're the best at that, but I think communication, never go to bed angry. I know that sounds so cliche, but we really have done that in our marriage. I can't think of a time where I've actually let him go to bed if one of us is angry at the other. It's more me than it is him. But anyway, so that, and of course, keeping God at the center of your marriage. That is key and crucial, I think, to any marriage. All right. Brenda says, beautiful, thank you. David from Makeup Whisperers says, why haven't you done a singles challenge yet? Or a singles cruise yet? Because Emily and I are going to do a follow-up to the singles cruise. We're going to do another one. It's just time, David. That's all. I will do it, I promise. Let's see. Natalie Melanson says, who has been your biggest teacher in life? What is the best lesson they have taught you? I guess I would say my parents. You know, I can't pick out one or the other. And I mean, the first lesson that they taught me probably is do unto others as you would have done to yourself. So put out kindness and compassion, and kindness and compassion will come back to you. I feel like I could probably do a whole video on things like that. But anyway, let's see. Martha Davenport Denton says, I love your accent. Were you born in Wisconsin? I'm from Texas and I sound like it. Yes, I was born in Wisconsin. I lived here for all but 4.5-ish years of my life. Those 4.5 years I spent in Western PA. And then we came back to Wisconsin. So did you always, let's see, Cherry Bell said, did you always want to be in sales? When you were in college, what do you expect to do for a career? So I started as elementary education. No, actually I started as music education, changed to elementary education, and ended up with human development with a family studies emphasis and a music minor. And I think I really always thought it was going to be a teacher. And then just somewhere along the line, I changed my mind. I got frustrated with some things. And so, yeah, I didn't expect to be doing what I'm doing, that's for sure. Okay. Carrie Lynn, 9/11, what's your best childhood memory? What did you want to be when you grew up? So truly, I really always wanted to be a teacher. And I think I could still go back. The degree that I have actually left the door open for me to go back if I really wanted to do that. My best childhood memory, I don't know that I could bring it down to one, but any really Christmas was always really special for us as a family. It wasn't about the gifts, but it certainly was about the traditions, from the kind of the way we did stockings. I think I've talked about that in another video. To one person opens a present at a time, to my dad always made either his coffee cake or cranberry orange muffins, or just all the little pieces of Christmas. My parents always made it really special. And we don't have a large family on my mom's side, which lived in Wisconsin, so we would see them. My dad's side, there's a larger family, but they live in Vermont, so we don't see them very often. So it was just always us, just the 6 of us, or the 4 of us originally, then the 6 of us, and then my sister went off you know what I mean? And I don't know. It's really Christmas and the holidays is always just that my parents just did a lot of things. We didn't have a ton of money, for sure. It wasn't like we were rolling in it, and we didn't have tons of gifts. But what we did have was always really special. So let's see. Operodal, I'm not sure I say that. I know you'd want to be able to travel for pleasure. Pick a country from each continent where you'd like to go. May I suggest Romania and Eastern Europe? I might be partial because I was born there. You are just the loveliest. Boy, I don't know that I could go through each continent, but I will say that, and I've mentioned this before, I really would like to go. A lot of my heritage is Welsh. I'd like to go to Wales. A large portion of it is Irish, so Ireland, and the rest is English, and so England. So I would really love to go to those countries. If an eye palette looks appealing, but at least 2 shades you won't use, will you still buy it? What's your favorite color scheme to do eye looks? Yes, absolutely. I'll still buy it. Even if it's a 5-pan palette and there's 2 I won't use, then probably not. But if it's a larger palette and there's 2 I won't use, yeah, I probably will. Like I think of the Bonbon, the chocolate Too Faced chocolate bonbon palette. Like, I'm never going to use that hot pink ever again. I used it, I think, in the 4 looks, but I'll never use that again. But I love that palette, so absolutely. My favorite color scheme definitely is warm looks, or anything with a taupe. If you could travel anywhere in the world, where would you go? Oh, I just kind of answered that. What would your perfect day look like? This is from A. Kepler 22. Weather-wise, I kind of feel like I should say April 25th. Anybody know what I'm talking about? This congeniality. My perfect day would be being able to wake up in the morning and sit by some sort of water, like watch it from the inside. I don't always love to sit on a beach, but I love to be able to hear it and see it, and drink my coffee and just have some calm and quiet, and hang out with Bob, and walk around somewhere, maybe somewhere pretty. I just, low key, I think my perfect day is different than it would have been 10 years ago, but this day and age, I would say low key. What palette and, oh, sorry, that was a question on the picture I posted it on. Let's see. Charlie Kaufman, what is the best natural everyday eyeshadow palette in your opinion? I think there are a couple. It depends on how big you want. But I still like the, let me pull it. So this is the palette I was talking about before. This is the Too Faced Chocolate Bonbon. I still really enjoy this palette. I think it's great for a bunch of everyday looks. Like I said, there are a few shades. Really in here, there's the shades I don't use are this one, and this one, but I use all of the rest of them. Or if you want just a quad, I still love this. I've loved this for years. I just used it again the other day. This is the Truth palette by Bare Minerals. I assume this still exists, but I just think it's a nice, great go-to, easy look. Let's see, Dana Fruit says, if you had a chance for an extensive collection with a world-renowned brand, what brand and products would you choose? Oh, good gracious. Maybe Estee Lauder, actually. I think Estee Lauder. I feel like they have good quality already. Like I wouldn't have to, if I'm doing an extensive collection, I'm thinking like full face, right? The only thing that I would do is I would improve their eyeshadow a little bit. Because sometimes I feel like their eyeshadows are pretty hit and miss. But yeah, maybe Estee Lauder, which is interesting. That's not the answer I would have thought I would have come up with. So if we're talking high-end brand, Estee Lauder. And if we're talking drugstore, maybe CoverGirl. There you go. What is your favorite type of music to sing? Anything that I can that I can sing harmony to is key for me. Love a lot of 80s stuff because I can sing a lot of harmony to the 80s stuff. Country, I really enjoy country as well. If I'm singing along. That was from CD65. Runway Riot. If you could talk to yourself at 16, what advice would you give? So when I was in college, I was a little bit crazy with the credit cards. I paid them all off on my own. There was no bankruptcy, anything like that. But I would have said, get a grip and don't do that. So I would have said that. But I also would have said, so that's a practical side. On the other side, I would have said, love who you are. Be comfortable in your own skin. It's hard to get a 16-year-old to understand that. You know, things will get better. I wasn't the most popular girl in school by any means, and I wanted to be. I've always been a pleaser. I want to be liked. You know, that's just, you know, but as I've gotten older, I've come to terms with not everybody's gonna like me, and it's okay. Like at this point, I don't give two hoots anymore, really. But I think I would tell myself to come to that point sooner. Be comfortable in your own skin. Love who you are. You are unique. You are special. I can remember my mom saying to me, you know, Kristin, you are golden. You are a gift from God, and you are golden. And you need to treat yourself as such. So anyway, there you go. Tri Lang says, as a beauty influencer, by the way, I don't know that I'm an influencer. just talking about makeup, but as a beauty influencer, is there a case for not disclosing if a video or review is sponsored? With all the uproar recently, I was surprised that there are people who don't disclose. As an insider, can you spot them a mile away? So as an insider, I can kind of spot them a lot of times because I've gotten the same offer that they have. So I'm like, that was sponsored. I don't think there's ever a case for not disclosing it. I think you should absolutely 100% disclose it. Sorry, I just had a little coughing fit there. So I have never done a sponsored video. I don't think I will ever do one, but I try to never say never. It would have to be, I would have to be a product that I know I already like, and even then, I don't know if that I would. I feel like it takes away my credibility just a little bit. I have tons of friends that do them, and they do them very ethically, and so I don't have any issue with it. I just don't know that I want to do that. Here's what's interesting, though. Excuse me. What I find interesting is that when I will write back to a company that's asked me like for my rate card or what I get paid for doing a video, I will write back and say, I don't do that. So I'm really having a hard time. I don't do that, but I'm willing to, you know, I certainly accept product for a review. I don't guarantee a positive review or anything like that. So I usually will, you know, kind of do an upfront contract with them as far as what I would be willing to do for some product. And 9 times out of 10, I won't ever hear back from them again. If you aren't willing to do a sponsored video, they're not interested. So I find that very interesting and disconcerting, quite honestly. So, all right, A. Kepler 22. I think she asked one earlier, but that's okay. What's your favorite junk food? Favorite healthy food? My favorite junk food really is anything sweet and crackers. I really like different kinds of crackers. And my favorite healthy food, nah. I don't know that I have a favorite healthy food. I mean, I like certain things. I really like the kind protein breakfast bars. Those are good. But I guess I would need that narrowed down to, are we talking about like a dinner? Are we talking about snacks? What are we talking about here? But I mean, I eat healthy food because it's healthy. I don't eat it because I love it. You know, I don't know. Nuts. I like nuts, but see, those aren't even really all that healthy if you eat too many. Anyway, Mary Lou, or MLTB, her name is Mary Lou. Favorite boy band or celebrity crush growing up? We were talking about this morning too. I don't really have a favorite boy band. I loved Boys to Men, but I don't know that they count as a boy band, because that's boy bands didn't come really until I was already in college and listening to other music. Celebrity crush was probably Tom Cruise before he went crazy. And then she asked a sassy question that said favorite avocado dish. I don't appreciate an avocado. Nanette's mom says, please let us know where you like to shop for jewelry. I've worn myself out trying to hunt down some of your divine earrings. So a lot of my earrings a friend got for me at like a wholesale jeweler eons ago. So I've had them for a long time. And I bought a lot of Stella and Dot earrings. I really like some of their earrings. Not all of their earrings, but some of their earrings. I have some Kendra Scott earrings that I like. So I don't know that I have a specific place. I'll see something at a boutique and get it. So I'm not sure, that wasn't super helpful. Sorry. MLUISO. I'm not sure what that's supposed to be, what that name is supposed to be. Hypothetical situation, because I'm guessing this would never happen to you, but let's say you fly somewhere for a one-day customer visit, and you arrive at the hotel and you realize you forgot your makeup bag. There's only one drugstore available. How much would you spend on makeup for one day, and what would you buy? I feel like that might be a good video, but let me see. Somebody else said this is a good question. So, okay. I'd probably be willing to spend as much as $30, to be honest with you. I would buy things that I know I would use when I got home. So I'm hopeful that I have my skincare. So we're gonna go with that. So I would make sure that I had a lot of moisturizer on so I didn't have to use a primer. I would get the L'Oreal Pro Glow foundation for sure. I would skip concealer. I know that there's a Wet n Wild eyebrow pencil that I can work with. I don't love it, but I can work with it. So I would either get that for my eyebrows, or I would find a quad that had a shade that it looked like I could use for my brows as well. It's not easy, but I can make it work with some Q-tips and a sponge tip applicator even for my brows. It's not pretty, but I can make it work. So I would say no more than $30. For sure I would get the L'Oreal Pro Glow, and I would probably pick a CoverGirl quad. I maybe would, or two, so that I can make an eye look work. And I'm here to tell you this though, whatever I buy, it would be something I know I could use at home in my collection. And I would get the CoverGirl Professional Super Thick Lash Mascara, by the way, in case you're curious. And hopefully that answers the question. But I would make sure that whatever I bought was something I could either use at home, or I know somebody I could give it away to. I would not just randomly buy stuff that I know I would never use again. I hope that's helpful. Mo Christine says, what is your eating plan that's keeping you looking so fit and healthy? I'm just keeping to a certain amount of calories every day. You have to work that out for yourself. I am not a nutritionist, clearly, or a dietitian, but so I keep to a certain amount of calories, and then I am walking 3 miles at least 6 days a week, and sometimes 7, but try to give myself a rest day in there. And then I lift with my trainer one day and on my own another day. So I hope that helps. Jeanette Chambers, apologies if you have answered this in the past, but what is your story about how you got into makeup? What do you love about it? I love the creativeness of it. I love that it can transform me from looking like I do to hopefully looking a little bit better. I just feel a little more confident about myself when I have makeup on. I have gotten to a point where I am just as confident without makeup, but I just feel a little better about myself when I have some makeup on. I don't know, I've been wearing makeup since I was 16. I don't have like this big dramatic story like a lot of people do, or like they have this moment that they remember. I mean, I'm 45, so I've forgotten a lot of things in my life. But I really always have enjoyed makeup and just enjoyed playing with it and different looks you can create and that sort of thing. Okay, so Lynette Holmes says, if you had the chance to collaborate with a brand, what product would you create? Foundation, shadow palette, skincare, etc. I did do an eyeshadow palette once with a smaller indie brand, and that was a lot of fun. I would do that again. I think I would do eyeshadow again. It's really when it breaks on, I love blush, I love foundation, I love testing different foundations, mascara, but when it comes down to it, my favorite thing I think really is eyeshadow. Today. I don't know. All right. I don't know what this name is, like Archeo Girl. I don't know if this is creative or not. What are your top 5 favorite things, excluding the Packers, or top 5 things you wish others knew about living in Wisconsin? As a Texan, married to a growly Wisconsinite Marine, I'm always up for encouraging home state pride. I'm not sure what she said at the end there. She says, except the 1 to 2 weekends every fall when that could get him kicked to the sofa. So I'm going to guess maybe she is a fan of another team, not the Packers. But anyway, so top 5 things. Fall. Fall is number 1 on my list. Fall is just gorgeous and beautiful in Wisconsin. I just love fall. The people, absolutely the people. For me and my family, you know, a lot of my family is here. My parents and one of my brothers. My other brother's in Denver and my sister's in Pittsburgh. I know she said I can't say the Packers, but I'm going to say the Packers because it's not just the Packers. It's that the Packers they're owned by the community. So it's such a community thing. I mean, when you plan something, like if a church is going to plan a picnic or whatever, like they generally plan around the Packers schedule. It's just such a big part of who we are as a state and as a community. So I know. So maybe I'll just say sports because it's kind of the same with the Badgers and the Brewers, especially right now, the Brewers. So it's really fun for us. The Brewers have not been in the playoff. I think they were in 2011, but they were in and out very quickly. So it's kind of exciting for us. And I don't know. I can't think of a 5th thing right now. And not because there isn't. I just can't. Something's not popping into my head. But anyway, I'm sure that's close enough. Amanda Carroll says, any tips on office makeup or hairstyles? Well, that depends a little bit on your office. My office, I could do just about anything within reason. You guys saw, like when I did the electric challenge way back when, I was very careful to still make it sort of a wearable look because I couldn't come in all crazy because I would never know if there would be a customer that would happen to stop in. It was definitely not it wasn't even a weekly occurrence, but it could happen, or I could have to go up front or whatever. You just never know, and who might be in the office. So I just think keep it neutral with kind of some fun pops of color. But again, this totally depends on your office. And for hairstyle, I would never, even though I would want to do some kind of fun colors, like, you know, it would be fun to do something fun with colors in my hair. But I just know better than that, and that's a me thing. Maybe they would have accepted it, maybe it would have been fine, but I wouldn't have been comfortable with it. You know what I mean? So anyway, all right, this will be the last one. This is Emily's question. So Emily Noel 83 says, "What's one life lesson you think everyone can benefit from? Also, if you had to dress up for makeup as a makeup product for Halloween, what would it be and why?" So my life lesson is just show kindness. Y'all, show kindness. Is it so? And here, you know what? I'm going to finish this with this. Here's my challenge to people, because this is a challenge that I've taken on myself. I've had some friends that have taken it on. I think that the use of the word hate it's so overused. Oh, I hate this blush. Oh, I hate when I have to do that. Oh, I hate it. Really? Our world is so full of hate. I just don't think we need to use it when we're describing a blush, or, you know, I have to go into the office and I hate when I have to do that. Or I just, you guys know I will say I do not appreciate or something like that. And I challenge you guys, try not to use the word hate unless you are really describing hate. You know what I'm saying? I'm really passionate about this. I don't know why. And you know, I'm trying to keep myself together over here because it just makes me so sad. A good friend of mine was a victim of some cyberbullying this past week in our schools. He's a substitute teacher in our schools, and I just can't understand that. So my life lesson is to treat everybody with kindness. Treat people the way you would want to be treated. I just don't think it's that hard. I don't know. I'm really passionate about that, and I'm really passionate about the use of the word hate. It drives me bananas. Please don't say that you hate things like a blush when there's so much hate in the world. Okay. Anyway, let's come back. What makeup product would I be for Halloween and why? It's funny because I read that comment early on, and because somebody had forwarded me and said, hey, did you see what the question that Emily left? And I would somehow try to dress up, I think, like a palette. I don't know how I would do that, but because eyeshadow palettes are really my favorite thing. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what palette I would try to do, but I think I would somehow figure out how to dress up as one of my palette. Like, I think you could do the front of this. You know what I mean? Like, you could figure out a way to do something like this, or I don't know. I think that's what I would do. That's probably lame, but that's what I would do. All right, on that note, I'm going to end this. I have a ton more questions. I didn't get anywhere near through all of them. So I'll see what the response is on this, and if you guys want more, I'll know that I stopped with Emily's question, and I'll just continue down and do some more if you guys want more. If you don't, that's cool too. If this was enough for now, that's awesome. Thank you guys so much for leaving me the questions. I really appreciate it. Very quickly, I will tell you I have the Misha Perfect cover on my face. On my eyes today, I used the Viseart Theory palette in Cashmere. And for blush, I have the Shiseido, seriously, blush in Twilight Hour. This is this really thin, oh, it's so pretty. And then I have a little bit of Vanilla Quartz from Becca as a highlight. And on my lips today, I have, not Twig. This is Touch of Spice by Maybelline. All right, I think that's everything. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you're having a good day. And in everything that you do and say, be beautiful. Bye.